This is actually our second time having him on the show. He's a true pioneer in the sport of MMA. He was the WEC featherweight champion and it was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame.
A lot of people don't know the history of the WC and the UFC, and the WC that I was under, they weren't offering my weight class for the UFC at the time. I appreciate the UFC, Dana White, Lorenzo, and the powers to be to acknowledge that I was a world champion under their organization. For me, in my heart, I know I was the best in the world.
He is tied for the most submissions ever in bantamweight history. He's the founder of Team Alpha Male.
The way I coach is, it's like I have my kids in school right now. I like to let them have a lot of self-reflection, leeway. In my opinion, the great coach empowers a fighter, an individual, to know that they can no matter what, not use you as a crutch.
Never being able to wear sandals again, or never being able to spar again.
If I could go barefoot, no underwear, no shirt throughout life for the rest of my life, that's how I'd like to keep it. You
Gotta
know,
adapt a little bit.
The sandals are, you know, that keeps me in society, you know? I'm not gonna get kicked out of most restaurants or most places. I've been almost killed in third world countries in these things and had to run for my life.
Please welcome Urijah Faber.
What's up? What's up? Good to be back, boys.
Yeah, no, welcome back.
I like the new studio.
Appreciate it.
Hot.
No, it is.
I burn with the new studio. Yeah,
I'm gonna burn the studio myself too. Being a little biased, not gonna lie, but thank you, Urijah. I think you're honestly the first ever guest to come back on the Burn Factory again.
First recurring
Right.
guest.
First
Special.
congrats.
First of
First
many.
of many.
We'll bring it back on.
You know, International Fight Week is the biggest week of UFC. I compare it to the Super Bowl. Who do you got in this main event? Ilia or Charles?
So we've got Ilia and Charles. I feel like, you know what, Charles is one of those guys that has shown resilience. He's shown improvements, but he's also shown that he's got some chinks in his armor at times, and like he's tasted defeat. He knows what it's like to feel that, but it is a guy that has been figured out in the past. So Ilia's still that guy that's like the unsolvable mystery. He's got a lot of momentum, a lot of fire. So I think I'm going to lean towards Ilia as the favorite. But you can't count Charles the Bronx out. I mean, that guy is a savage. He's always going to be dangerous. He's going to be put in a bad place and be able to come back. So he's got to be careful with Ilia though, because he's stopped some of the baddest dudes on the planet, and the Bronx is one of those guys. So we'll see. I'm leaning towards Ilia.
By finish, you think? You think he gets him out of there?
I think it'll be finish it. Yeah, I think it'll be a finish. I don't see these guys, eking out a 5-round decision in any way, shape, or form. But you never know. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, there's just something about like confidence, and I can't say it enough. Like Ilia almost has what Conor McGregor had whenever Conor was in his prime. There's almost like this crumble factor whenever you get in the octagon with Ilia. But Charles, man, there's just something about those guys coming up from where they come up in the favelas and stuff like that, and just having something to prove when they fight. But Ilia, man, how can you? I don't know. Ilia's all the way.
Yeah, I just think the IQ. That's the one thing I question a little bit. I think Charles, he tends to bite down on his mouthpiece and just go, and he's willing to go forward and sit there in the pocket with Ilia. It's just, I don't know. I don't think we've seen someone that can handle being in the pocket with Ilia. Like his fight with, Volk, it took him around to get the distance, but once he gets close, it's over. It's tough.
He's got some power, man. I mean, he also fought our guy Josh Emmett. He had a really close fight, and I'd like to see that one again. Hopefully, if Josh can get back in the mix, but the ability to handle heavy hitters and also be able to deliver his own, and then be a guy that can obviously stop the best in the world is it's hard to bet against, especially when he's young and hungry and everything.
Yeah.
So but we'll see, man. I'm excited for the fight.
We'll see. That's the one thing about the UFC is that they're the best at making fights. And we'll find out on Saturday.
That's right.
But let's get into this episode of Burnt Earth Show. First question. I think this one's going to be pretty hard for you because you've done both sides of the sport. So burn or chill, the difficulty of fighting or the difficulty of coaching?
So you got to burn one and then chill one.
Okay. I'll chill on the difficulty of fighting. I mean, of course it's difficult. It's like, you're getting in a fight. It's a scary thing. But I'll burn on the difficulty of coaching. Coaching, you have no real control, which is scary. It's a scary thing to go into a fight where you're not actually getting to fight. You get to impart some knowledge, some opinions. You get to do the preparation, but actually getting in there and having a say in what happens is just not the case. So for me, that's the real difficult thing, is something that you cannot control, and you try to stack the odds in your favor. You hope that things go your way, but you got to let go. And so for me, the difficulty is much higher there.
Yeah, you can only do so much, from
That's
the
right.
outside. As a fighter, like you said, you have more control. Do you get more nervous coaching than you did fighting, or is it totally different?
I think it's really weird. I think both have their nervous moments. I had 46 fights professionally, and I remember this with my wrestling career too in college, where sometimes I would feel a little bit of nerves and sometimes I wouldn't, and I'm not sure what is making that happen. For the fight game, I'd like to say that everything is equal when it goes to the fighter that's going out there, but you have certain people that you are more endeared to for whatever reason, and so I get a little more nervous for guys that I feel like, maybe have some openings that I feel could get exploited, and also guys that I really know their backstory and know how bad they need to win sometimes. And sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's personal, but it really varies on the situation, which I think is kind of similar for everything in life.
Yeah.
It's always hard, as a coach, because like you said, you can only do so much. You can motivate the fighter as much as you can do with the camp. Everything could be nailed to a T, but you just see sometimes it's just not your night.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a coach, that would be very difficult from coming from being a fighter where it's totally in your control.
Yeah, and on that same note, we're looking at a preparation that should be like a hay in the barn. So it's like most of the work should be done. There's very little on the night that will affect the fight from what you do from a coaching standpoint. But there are these key moments that I've felt throughout my career where I've said little things or game little things that have been influential in a fight day. So most of the work should be done, but you're still have the ability to affect the fight. So it's it is nerve-wracking at times.
I gotta ask, whenever you were in there fighting in the octagon, did you ever catch yourself like being like too almost like analytical on like the coaching side and trying to balance like in there just with the adrenaline and feeling the flow?
I was not a guy that was thinking about outside distractions and I've seen guys in fights where they're like looking at their corner trying to get something out.
That's what I was saying.
Happened many times, and I'm like, for me, that's not the right mindset. You should be in a place where if you hear it, you hear it. If you don't, you don't. But you shouldn't be like actively looking for the answer in the moment. For me, I look at fighting as such an instinctual thing. When you're in a fight, it should be trained instincts, and hopefully you've trained them correctly. It's like if I were to have you run up a staircase from 1 to 100, and I asked you, like on stair 47, you're doing a sprint up it. Was your right hand forward? Was the right hand back? Are you looking down? Are you looking up? You should know.
Oh,
You're
wow.
just fucking running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So for me, hopefully I can prep my guys to a place where they can run in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you drill it so much. That's why
That's
they are
right.
doing 2-a-days, because
Drillers
it is all
make killers.
Hey,
I like
drop
that. I like
Yeah.
that saying.
I like that. But it
Drillers
is time
make
to go
killers.
to the second question of the Burn or Chill show. This one is very simple. You just got to burn it or chill it. Did you burn or chill your time on The Ultimate Fighter?
Burn. What a good time, man. It was such a great experience. And I was on the show as the head coach twice, once against Dominic Cruz on a 3-month, the only live Ultimate Fighter show.
That's
All of them
right.
have been half that time, so it was like an extra long experience. And we had so much fun. Like if you go back and do the behind the scenes, it was me with all my buddies. We had a great coaching staff, a great opponent with Dominic Cruz, and it was a very unique setting. I would obviously suggest, if you get an opportunity to do it, any fighter take that opportunity. The second time was against Conor McGregor, an iconic time. still people reference that, and people say, I just watched it. And so people are going back and watching that. And it was good to get that interaction with Conor and build a relationship with him also, because he's an interesting cat. And then last
You're still
time,
close with him though, right?
Yeah,
I remember
we
you saying
still
on
talk.
the podcast before you're still kind
yeah,
of
we
close
made that.
with
We
McGregor.
made that video.
Video,
for you guys.
that video.
Yeah, I saw that
Appreciate
populate
it.
not too long ago
Yeah.
on his Burr moment. But you know, the last one was spending a little bit of time with Cody versus TJ, which in retrospect, I would chill on that episode.
Yeah.
It was like I'd kick back and I would have stepped out of that one because it was very awkward between two guys that I had such a great relationship with. I wasn't there for the whole time, but the time that I was there, it was like a lot of turmoil, and that was kind of a weird one for me.
Yeah. I think is it difficult for you? Obviously you had great fights with Dominic Cruz. Was it hard to like be that close to, a future opponent, I guess, during those like 3 months?
Not at all.
No.
And for me and him, we've got a good relationship now. A lot of respect for him, but at the time I was excited to have a rival, because I was friendly with everybody. Like a lot of the guys I fought had even come and cross trained and over time. And for me, he like picked a fight and I accepted, and I was just having fun with it.
Yeah.
I had TJ Lavin. He made a song called The Decisionator. We DJ'd it. We did a fake circus and had Chad Mendes streak through chasing a midget and do backflips during their practice. And we had so much fun. We called it college. Like, hey, we're in college again out in the out in Vegas with all our
really
buddies.
is.
But
All under
it was
one
a
house.
great time, man. It was so much fun. So and Dom's cool. He's easy to rile up, and I enjoyed that.
Get under his skin just a
Yeah,
little
you just
bit.
gotta get there a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, that season was it was terrific. I
Thanks,
love
man.
that season, and congrats. And
Yeah.
would you? I know I hear it from a lot of people because Alexa just did the Ultimate Fighter too, and I hear a lot of these coaches say they get a hard time getting the respect from the fighters, because everyone kind of goes in there like a little selfish to some degree. So is it hard to build like their respect towards you?
I was in a pretty good position at the time because, first off, you've got all these different cultures. Like for a female coach, especially if you get into some of the cultures where women aren't necessarily held on a pedestal, that's a different animal. And you got just a guy, guys are guys. And I think it was probably a little bit different for the women.
Yeah.
We had Ryan Loder that won the actual show. He's from our team. And he loved being coached by Shevchenko and learned a lot from her. What an awesome champion. So, but me personally, I would lead by example. And the way I coach is, it's like I have my kids in school right now. I like to let them have a lot of self-reflection, leeway, have a hand in how they want things done, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to create people and fighters that can do it without me. In my opinion, the great coach empowers a fighter, an individual, to know that they can, no matter what, not use you as a crutch. So I respected people's thoughts, and I'd give my input and everything else, but it wasn't like, hey, my way or the highway, because everybody's got their own way. We're all
Everyone's
individuals.
style's different too.
Totally.
You got different guys coming from different backgrounds and stuff. So
Yeah.
you got to just show something and almost pave the way for them.
Yeah,
which they do.
and honestly, I find guys, and I've got 17 different countries on any given day in our gym on a daily basis. I've got a whole staff of coaches that have their own guys that they work with and everything else. You really have to understand, like, guys are different. I've got a guy named Saifullah. He looks like Abraham Lincoln. He's like 6'2", 155 pounds where he's going to fight. And so I'll try to find guys for him to emulate and give him homework. Like, hey, go watch this guy who has a similar style, who has this and that. Or I'll try to pair him up with one of my coaches that I think could match their the things that they like to do or the things they need to work on. So it's a very malleable situation being a coach and being a good coach. You have to let the ego go.
Yeah. Be
have
able to
to.
adapt quick.
Yeah.
And just adapt to the times and adapt to the cultures.
That's
and
it.
fighting. That's what it is. But it's time to get to question number 3 of the Burn or Chill show. This one's iconic, and I am laughing thinking about this question right now. Burn or chill? So you got to burn one and chill. never being able to wear sandals again or never being able to spar again?
I'll tell you what. I gotta say, I'll chill on never being able to spar again. That's okay with me. I would like to burn
Keeping the sandals.
Because, well, first off, if I could go barefoot, no underwear, no shirt throughout life for the rest of my life, that's how I'd like to keep it. But you know,
Gotta adapt a
the
little bit.
sandals are that keeps
adapt.
me in society. You know, I'm not gonna get kicked out of most restaurants or most places, and I'm not gonna step on a tack or broken glass or funk on California the way we've been dealing with the homeless. We got stuff all over the streets
You
these
gotta
days.
be careful.
So
Tiptoeing through the streets.
sandals
like
are a
this
big
now.
part of my life, and I have different types of sandals for different things. Most shoes I have are sandal-ish, at least from a comfort level. So I gotta burn with the sandal life, man. It's for me. It's the life for
very
me.
you.
Good question.
Man, it's iconic too.
You gotta talk
Thank
to
you.
the UFC about getting you some sandals
Yeah,
to
yeah, they
corner
got
because
some-
I know
they
you gotta
got-
wear the rock shoes.
Yeah.
Get some rock. Get some rock flip flops in there.
Yeah, they got some slip-ons, but they're still not like.
That's what I'm saying.
We
Like
need
that.
flip-flops. Yeah, we need to
not
split
like
the toe.
slides, but like actually flip flops.
Yeah, we gotta.
Come on,
I can
Rock,
run in
where you
these.
at?
I can
Hook your
run
eye
miles
up.
in these. I've been almost killed in third world countries in these things and had to run for my life. I can navigate the world with these sandals on, man.
What type are those?
Reefs.
These
no,
ones
they don't look like
are what are those? They're Okai,
Okay.
Oh,
Alukai.
Aluka.
These guys are a little.
Would you wear reefs at all?
I wear
Reefs?
I wear reefs. I mostly wear rainbows.
Oh, rainbows,
Yeah,
Yeah, they're out of Laguna Beach, and those are like my go-to. But I actually lost one pair, and the other pair are so dirty that I couldn't wear them.
Okay. We just bought a pair of reefs, and now they have like. Have you seen them? They have the bottle openers on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
And like a bottle opener on the bottom of a flip flop. Like,
I actually just got sent a pair of reefs, like an actual tennis shoe that I love.
Whoa.
That has the bottle opener on the reef, and it's like super spongy on the inside. One of the ring girls actually sent it to me as a gift, and I was like, bro, I could rock these. No socks, just enough before they start to stink. Wear them to the gym, take them off, back to the house, get in the pool.
Oh, perfect.
Simple.
No
It's
better
simple.
way to do that.
Simple.
Yeah.
The sandals are staying. It's
They're staying.
iconic. It's your
Yeah.
image now. It's your brand. But it's time to go to the fourth question. Going back to fighting a little bit. Very simple. You just got to burn it or chill it. Burn or chill giving up your Hall of Fame status for a UFC belt.
Oh man, for me, I'd probably keep the Hall of Fame status, and this has come up a lot in the like the class action suit that's happened lately, and they're talking about that this belt is in the contract it's a symbolism of the organization, not a world title per se. Of course, it is in the real world. It's the best in the world become the UFC champion. But a lot of people don't know the history of the WC and the UFC. And the WC that I was under, they weren't offering my weight class for the UFC at the time.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate the UFC, Dana White, Lorenzo, and the powers to be to acknowledge that I was a world champion under their organization, where it was the only organization for 145 pounds.
Yeah.
And for me, in my heart, I know I was the best in the world. It is for the common fan. It would be very
Yeah.
nice to say, hey, I had the strap. It'd be nice to have that on my wall. It's something I tried very hard for. I had 4 attempts, kept on trying, which I'm lucky to have 4 attempts.
Yeah.
Like I just kept on taking a swing at the bat and having that, and I'm proud of that. And I think the Hall of Fame thing for me is more of encompasses what I'm all about, which is building something bigger than myself, contributing to a sport that was brand new. And I know in my heart that I was a world champion. So for me, that's good enough.
Yeah, I hate the MMA fans right now because they almost make it, but honestly, they almost make it as if you don't ever become a champion, you weren't that good. And that's not the
Yeah.
case. There's so many fighters out there that had all the abilities in the world to be champion, but I mean, it wasn't their calling. It wasn't their time,
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's like you said, it's kind of like a social thing to say like you were a UFC
no, but I
champion.
wanted that belt, and
yeah.
that was actually a hard answer for me. It's like, because I wanted that belt so bad, and I tried so hard. I tried after I lost the WC belt. I had 8 years of staying on the grind trying to get that UFC championship. The first fight that I had in the UFC where they brought the WC and the UFC together, I think I was 31 years old.
Wow.
Which, you look at the champions these days,
like 26,
26, 27.
27.
I was the champion at 26, 27. And then I fought, the best in the world, and I'm proud that I was always able to do that clean. In retrospect, I didn't know that a lot of people were dirty. I had conversations with some journalists and stuff and said, no, like, bro, everybody was on stuff. And I know for a fact that, I'm one of the guys that with pride had a clean career.
Yeah.
Not one PED, not one hiccup, not one thing.
Test,
and so there's a lot of things I'm proud of. And I think the UFC Hall of Fame for me embodies
everything.
Oh,
everything.
Yeah. I mean, to be engraved in the Hall of Fame of a sport you love and you pursued and you dreamed of, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Yeah, and it's a big honor, and I appreciate the UFC for the acknowledgement, making me a first round. And it was weird to sit and smell the roses because, when you're grinding and you're doing you and just focus on like the task at hand and being the best, you don't take time to really stop and go, oh, what have I done? Oh, I did this, I did that. And now I can sit back and look at the career. I'm like, oh man, this is, I watch movies where there's like the Iconics musicians on tour together, and I'm like, I was rubbing shoulders and part of a storyline with a lot of the greats. And, fought Jens Pulver, who beat BJ Penn, who beat Matt Hughes, and all these things, the way the whole sport is connected is very cool.
Yeah. What was that first emotion like though? Whenever you got that call saying, "Hey, you're right, you're being inducted in the Hall of Fame," did everything kind of just like go to like a blur and just almost like the past just got erased and you're just time to enjoy the moment?
It was kind of it was really a time for me to say, why, and then you look back and like, oh shit, okay.
I kind of
was an influential guy, and I was like, I did this, I did that. And for me, it was cool. It was just another part of a great journey that I've had. And when I gave my speech, it was just basically, I'm excited for what's next. And I have been excited for what's next on a bunch of different levels. And that includes being a parent, that includes building businesses, that includes mentoring the next generation of guys and thinking outside the box in the sport. And I've got a lot of stuff. We'll have to come back and talk about it. I've got irons in the fire.
Part 3.
For really cool things that I'm working on that are going to be hopefully game changers in the sport.
Love it. I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to part 3, we're going to get a Burner Chill part 3 coming with Urijah Faber. But it's time to move on to our final question. This is our burn moment question. Burn moment, super hard time in life where you had to fight and overcome that's gotten you to where you are at today. What's the biggest burn moment you've gone through in your life?
Man, I think last time I talked about, college and me getting kicked out of the dorms and almost kicked out of school and having to fight to prove that I'm a good guy and that I deserve to represent a major university and all the hard work. That's what I did last time. But this time I think, my sister got in a car accident and she had, brain surgery, had her skull removed, had a life or death situation that was a long recovery. And I was there for that. And it just put things in perspective and reminded me what's important in this world and how important it is to be there for people that you care for and how important it is to remember your roots and how good health is true wealth. And that's the truth. And I'm actually on a protocol right now for a company called 100.com. And it's like the cutting edge concierge service that's affordable to do what Dana White and all these guys are doing on a high level of making sure they're in the best shape of their lives and the best thing for their lives. And for me right now, making sure that I'm there to be the best me for my kids and my family and my friends and everything that I'm doing is a big case. And that was kind of a reminder of that.
Yeah.
And I'm taking action right now. So check out 100.com if you guys get a chance.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
What's in that? That's kind of interesting to hear because, a lot of times things happen to, like Priest, and he was burned and he almost lost his life fighting for his life. But like me as a brother, you as a brother to your sister, it's really difficult to see like a sibling that you're, super close with to like they're fighting for their life. And it's what you said, like health is wealth. And to see them on the verge of, at least for Priest, you know, almost losing his life, it's like, man, it puts it into perspective how like truly grateful we are for, you know, this moment in this studio talking, because it could be taken quick.
Oh, life is fickle, bro. It is, man. So you got to make the most of it. And, you know, that's what we're trying to do. I think, you know, when you remember that, try to live in the moment, try to be the best that you can, try to surround yourself with people that you enjoy being around and doing things that you want to do. That's always been the goal for me and the motivation for me. So
No, that's amazing. I mean, life's a precious gift, and can't waste an opportunity because you never know whenever something can happen. That's why I try to just live by the motto, just enjoy the present. Don't think about the future. It brings anxiety. Don't think about the past. It brings depression. So
yeah,
just gotta live in the
way
moment.
To live.
That's it.
We appreciate you, Uriah. Thank you for coming on this part 2 of the Burn Factory. Now the Burner Chill Show. Let the audience know where they can find you. Instagram, social media, TikTok now. I don't know. Just give it all to them.
I don't have TikTok. I need to double down on my my social media stuff, but just Urijah Faber, URIJAHFABER. That's for everything. Instagram, Facebook. I think maybe TikTok. I'm now on WeChat. We got Chinese
WeChat?
fighters on our team, so that's good stuff.
Oh, nice. You heard the man. Be sure to go check out Mr. Urijah Faber. And thank you so much for coming on the Burn or Chill episode. And we are out.